I see fire inside a mountain. I see fire burning the trees. I see fire hollowing souls. I see fire burning the breeze. And I see fire, oh you know I saw a city burning. And I see fire, I feel the heat upon my skin. And I see fire. What?
Where's the fire?
It's just a song, mate.
We had reports here there's a fire. Someone shouting there's a fire.
No, not it's in the film. It's from the Hobbit.
There's no fire.
No, it wasn't. I didn't mean me. It's like it's an Ed Sheeran song.
Ed Sheeran's here, is he?
No. Sorry.
What about skin's burning? Is skin burnt? Do you require first aid, sir?
No, it's not. No, I don't need first aid. My skin was. I shouldn't have said it. I'm sorry.
Look, sir. You do realise it's a blatant disregard for fire and rescue service authorities to be called out to these hoax calls.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. I mean, we take very seriously reports of the city burning.
Yeah.
That's just not funny, is it?
No.
So you're not going to do it again?
No, I won't do it again. I won't sing again.
Right. Just be a bit more careful and have a bit more respect for your surroundings. Just be a bit more aware. Yeah, because we take fire safety very seriously.
Yeah.
Singing I See Fire by Ed Sheeran at the top of your voice is not a responsible act. Please sing responsibly. Unless, of course, you are Ed Sheeran, it gets a bit of a pass, because it's his song. Don't do it again.
Got big hair.
What?
Welcome to Strategy Battle Games, another GBHL YouTube video. You're here with your host GBHL Damian.
And GBHL Tom.
And this is episode 43 of The Palantir. Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes.
We're back.
Once again with the Renegade Master. And as ever for this week's episode, the views of and opinions of whatever we say on this next episode throughout the next hour are only our own and do not represent the views of the GBHL podcast channel or the Great British Hobbit League, or indeed any other formal body or institution such as the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. David.
Thank you for that, David.
We googled it, didn't we, to check it wasn't, yeah? There wasn't any.
There's no murders, no.
No murders associated with it. Or
Just a vintage
it's not a
railway.
dirty trick that we're going to get taken off the air for. Are we on the air?
Steam trains.
Steam trains, yeah. There you go.
Just steam trains.
But anyway, they might or they might not agree with us.
Mm-hmm. No.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. You want to do it with that one? All right.
Oh, do you want? Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough, yeah. So.
I know. Well,
What?
I've just given them a teaser.
Teaser.
Oh, it's good.
It's good. It's
Sketching
strong.
that.
Sketching that. Keep that.
I'm still giving them a teaser.
Yeah. Are you gonna?
Go up. Oh.
Look at these. It's for the first time in a while a mug review.
It's a mug
We
review.
got a mug review because some company we ordered some British mugs and they got it wrong.
They inverted
They
the
inverted
colours.
it. It's really annoying. No, I'm just doing some casual hilarity there for a Friday for you. What are these, Tom?
Fact, Denmark mugs. Why would we have Denmark mugs?
I just asked you.
Oh, did you? Oh. We have Denmark mugs because we met a couple of lovely chaps from Denmark
We
at
did?
the re-desolation of Stockport 2015.
We did indeed.
So thank you very, 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 very much to Mark Bebe and Morten Bendixson.
Who very kindly gave us these mugs as mementos. So thank you so much. Once again, I'm reminded that we should have done like car reviews or house reviews.
Oh yes,
Or
yes.
gold reviews or
Yeah.
something.
Just
Cash
model
reviews.
reviews.
Model reviews, yeah. Instead of cut mug reviews.
Mug reviews.
So thank you very much. It's nice to it's nice that this sort of thing seems to travel internationally. and
Yes.
People have given us a ridiculous amount of mugs already. And
Yeah, like you said, you need a Palantir only shelf in the kitchen now.
Oh, it's good to know. It's good to know. So yeah, thank you very much, Liza. It's very kind of you to give us silly idiots presents like that. So thanks, guys. We really appreciate it.
Last week the tea toast was with Robert Cron.
What a guy!
Rob.
DCHL Rob, yeah.
Yeah.
From Nova.
Yes. I mean, he's not from Nova.
It's not a place.
No. From Washington DC. And he is passing it on. And before he does pass it on, he has a picture of a tea toast, which will flash up now. So yeah, there was Rob looking very fetching in his Union Jack t-shirt.
Great to include that.
Yeah.
Always like more editing work.
And he's passing on the banner to another channel.
The banner?
Well,
Is it a banner? I thought it was a cup of tea.
Okay.
Another channel?
Cup of tea on banner. On gambling.
Profile immediately. Profile.
He's passing it on to, in an extraordinary move, 2 people.
What?
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
I think so.
Right. Can we do that? Is that have we done?
I think we can make an exception for Rob.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't think they'll kick off?
They might kick off.
Alright, yeah.
Well, we've given it to an entity before, like Shadow and Flame. That's 2 people. So yeah, Rob is passing it on to Adam and Sam from Blackfire Productions.
Hey! There you go,
toast
sir.
for you.
So do we need 2...
Two
this
chinks.
is- Yeah, and what do? They give it to one person?
They give it to one person.
Right, so you need to, between you need to decide,
Mhm.
nominate one person, Adam and Sam.
And enjoy the tea.
I'll of course enjoy the tea.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Adam.
Maybe with some maple and bacon.
Yeah, Adam you'll recognise from a bat rep with me in Goblin Town.
Down, down, down in Giblin Town.
Yes, and maybe is he in? He was on the hobby vlogs a lot as well.
Yeah, Sam's in a back rep with me. Is half edited,
Yes.
so it'll be coming soon.
Yes.
Floating Denmark Cup, floating Denmark Cup.
Don't break it.
Ooh.
Please don't break it.
It's good, right?
No,
Very good.
I'm worried.
It's fine.
But yeah, Adam and Sam, we met at Nova. They were cool guys. Stop wiggling it. Sam had that really cool display army.
The flet.
The flats.
The Widow flet.
He
Yeah,
had
he did.
Haldir, Galadriel, and then the Fellowship as they arrived in Lothlorien, which was really cool.
Very cool.
And Adam brought, he had Radagast on slaying eagles, which was also cool.
On Boromir.
On Land Rover. We'll get on to that later.
I would hope so.
So yeah, well, what did we talk about last week, Damian?
Last week, Tom, we talked about our favourite characters in the Hobbit film.
We did indeed. Anything else?
We asked if SPG was a sport.
Well remembered.
Thanks. It
Yeah.
wasn't.
So we had a few comments on whether SPG is a sport, and
I would hope so.
the resounding answer was no.
Oh, it's a shame.
I'm afraid. Resco Nesco did say that, but if we were ever interviewed on, as we as a community were interviewed on the BBC, he'd want us guys to be championing us for a sport.
Really? Oh, because we could yell loud enough.
Yeah.
It's a sport. It's a sport. It's a sport.
Oh,
because I was criticising the other guy who
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
saying
yeah,
himself.
exactly.
Yeah. I could convince Bill and Louise.
And Dave Egan's answer was, is it a sport? The short answer is no. The long answer is definitely no. Or something a little less polite. But we'll be child friendly on the Palantir. And Brian Killian, who we also met at Nova,
You did?
he said that, because I think we were talking about synchronised swimming and some stuff like that, he's gone for underwater basket weaving should be in the Olympics.
We weren't talking about underwater
You mean-
synchronised swimming. You were ranting
Okay,
about
I'm sorry.
synchronised swimming. It's a very different thing. Found one of your buttons.
So anyway, it's not a sport, sadly.
Shame.
Yeah, so favourite character in the Hobbit movies, and you went for... You
La-la-la.
went for Tauriel, and that sparked some debate. You would never have thought that. Okay, Dave Egan said that Tauriel's better than Legolas or Thranduil. Legolas actually very far down the list if he was to rank his favourites. After Frodo, he's its least favourite member of the Fellowship.
Is that like based on Lord of the Rings or based on The Hobbit? I think everyone's
guess
gone
based
off him
on two.
because of The Hobbit.
Yeah, probably.
He's cool in Lord of the Rings. And then he's a bit much here. But Thranduil was awesome. He was a bit too grumpy though. Do you think he was too grumpy?
In the Battle of Five Armies.
Yeah. He needed a bit of redeeming, I thought.
Yeah, maybe that'll be in an extended
I
edition.
know he had the final bit.
Maybe he saves Alfred from dying.
that well. I know he had the last
Maybe he kills Alfred. That'll redeem him.
Yeah, everyone goes, hey, Thranduil.
Thranduil, hey.
But he has the little line with Tariel at the end.
About the
About it
wise
being
love.
real. But he essentially leaves Dale. There's the whole bit outside the Battle of beside Erebor where he's like, oh, do we fight with dwarves, yada yada yada. And then the elves do.
Yeah.
And it's all like, hooray,
And
he's
like,
chilled out.
oh, it's time
and then
for tea.
he's like, get everyone out.
It's time
I'm going
for
to
tea,
leave
guys.
these guys to die.
Yeah.
And that seems
Yeah.
anti the character arc, I thought.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very good, you know.
Alright.
I thought Lee Pace was very good.
Yeah, you'd have thought it would be kind of he leaves and comes back almost to save the day.
Yeah. Or like Gandalf convinces him.
Yeah.
Or like after Tariel convinces him. I don't know, maybe there is an extended shot of him rejoining the fray.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll find out in 2 weeks.
Yes, so Warlord and Michael Beaujean don't like the addition of Tariel. Well, they don't mind the addition, sorry, I'm misquoting them. They don't mind the addition, but they despise the love interest part.
Yeah, I can understand.
You didn't think was going to happen until the last one. Or at least we're clinging on to.
Yeah, clinging on to the faint hope.
Yeah, and
They're just friends.
that got
Friends
smashed
who
out of
kiss.
the water right at the start of the third film.
Not unlike Lake Town.
Also, Warlord, thank you for the mugs last time, by the way.
Oh yeah, of course, the DC mugs.
Warlord also said that he'd preferred it if Legolas was more of a cameo rather than a major character.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Fair.
I didn't have a problem with him being at the Battle of Five Armies because he should have been there. But I think it's the Lake Town bit that seems too much.
Yeah.
He should have been in Mirkwood. I'm a big fan of the barrel chase. I quite liked all that. But then if he then came with Thranduil, and as many people would agree, I'm a big fan of Legolas. He shouldn't have killed Bolg.
Yeah.
It's too much. He should have been. He was like, I don't know, fourth down the list of who should kill. You've got your Thorin,
Bale,
Dane,
and
maybe even Dwalin or something. You know, there's a lot of other characters. Thranduil, who could line up and should kill him, but you could see that coming a mile off after the end of Desolation Smaug when they set up the whole rivalry.
Yeah.
But here's what it is.
It's what it is. David Whittaker said she was good fun and added a hell of a lot more than Alfred or Extra Leggy did.
Yes, I agree.
And Alwood said he didn't really he thought it was natural for her to be there and that she did add to the film. Like it didn't feel.
I don't think she feels like an addition.
Like an addition, yeah.
Yeah.
David Whittaker also said, I think we'd said the unexpected segue at some point in the last episode. And he's
It was someone getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Someone got knocked down by an unexpected segue.
Yeah, and he's gone for what the unexpected segue film or book will be, and it's a tale about Leggy and Tariel going off to find the young ranger in the north. Along the way, adventure occurs.
Yeah.
It'll be utterly rubbish. That's what he's gone for. We did have some votes from you on the favourite character, and there was a very large spread, as in everyone went for a different character.
Oh.
And there was only one character who got more than one vote. The characters with one vote were Thorin, Radagast, Smaug, Botha, Girion, Dwalin, Thranduil, Balin, Tauriel and Dane. And then, with multiple votes, who do you think it is?
Bard.
No, I said Bard.
Oh, did he?
Oh, no, Bard was mentioned, I've not copied it. Bard gets one.
Didn't say Bard. Not Gandalf or Bilbo.
No.
Dwalin. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't actually listening
Dwalin
to the
got
list. Alfred.
No.
Feely.
No.
Great content.
Yeah. Big.
Goblin King.
Bigger. Sometimes smaller.
What? It shrinks? A wereworm?
No one else shrinks. Or grows. It's hairy. He's black.
He's black?
Yeah.
Necromancer,
No,
Sauron.
only in one form, not in the other. The other form is skin coloured.
What on earth are you talking about? In one form.
You know,
Gollum.
No,
What?
you know when you're you can't stand anything longer. What would you say? I cannot.
Bear it. Bail. The answer is bail.
Well, you somehow made that into top quality content.
Top quality content, right there.
The answer is bail.
Cool. That's a good choice.
Yeah. So
Silly idea.
good choice, guys. Last week we also talked about Lost World versus Jurassic Park 3.
Of course we did. Classic.
I've got the
Palantir
T-shirt
top.
on to
Yep.
show.
Where'd you get that from?
I don't know I forgot a T-shirt this evening. Where do you think I picked up a T-shirt to wear at Damian's?
Oh, that's trivial. Where did Tom borrow a Jurassic Park t-shirt from?
So, there were a couple of votes either way on the Lost World versus Jurassic Park.
really?
3. Yeah,
Okay.
there were some votes. But ELS said he's never heard of any Jurassic Park fan say that the Lost World was worse than the third movie. Please enlighten me, Damien. I find it very difficult to justify Jurassic Park 3 over Lost World. Please, can you give me a well-written miniature essay explaining why you think Jurassic Park 3 is better than 2?
Dr. Alan Grant.
That's it, done.
End.
End. Okay.
Finn.
Good.
I don't know. I hate the end of Lost World. The end when they're running around is silly.
Yeah,
And
quite a few people agreed with you on that one.
And I really like Jurassic Park because there's very few characters and there's a lot of tension, and every time you kill one off, it means something. And in Lost World, they just replaced that with slaughtering extras. So I think it's more that realistically, The Lost World's probably a better film, but I didn't enjoy The Lost World, so then my expectations were lower. So then I did enjoy Jurassic Park. The bit in the aviary is awesome, and also Dr. Alan Grant.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay, trivia.
Hey, trivia section.
What did you ask last week?
I asked in the original Fellowship of the Ring sourcebook,
Mm-hmm.
rule book
Yes.
for the very first release, what was different about Legolas,
Mm-hmm.
or if there was anything different, what differences were in his profile?
Now, you've said the word sourcebook, so remind me we should give Larry some credit for his idea on a sourcebook and say that at some point. It's not on the agenda.
I'll remind you, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, remind me. But anyway, so you asked about Leggy in the Fellowship book
I did.
and how he's changed.
How he's changed. Effie's changed.
Would you have the book to hand?
I do.
So we can show people.
Dave was very excited when he came over because he now knows where I'm going.
Where you're going.
Yeah. Like he was excited to see the room.
To see the
He was
bookshelf.
like, oh, that's where it is, and that's where you go.
That's not.
Wrong book.
That's
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
Dave can be excited
Dave,
again
you know
because you've
where
got
I am.
over here.
Same place.
I was going to turn the camera around so people can see.
No!
And I was like, that'll just mess it up. It'll be
Behind
okay.
the curtain.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not allowed.
People
Lego.
have seen your room before.
It's not the
Battle
point.
reports.
Not the point. Leggy.
Yeah.
Want me to tell the differences, or?
Do you want to read? Yeah. Why don't you read his profile out?
He is a fight 6 and 3+ shoot, strength 4, defense 4, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, courage 6.
Mm-hmm.
The same.
The same.
His points is 85. 5 points cheaper.
Mm.
His might is 3. His will is 2. His fate is 2.
He loses a fight.
Loses fate. He carries a long blade, and which is a hand weapon. So he didn't have an elven blade at any point. He now has daggers, but it's the same thing. And an elven bow. An additional points cost, Legolas can be given an elven cloak.
Cool.
For 10 points. And he has a special rule, deadly shot. Legolas is an expert archer, even by the standards of his race. To reflect his prodigious skill, Legolas is allowed to shoot 3 times in the shoot phase instead of once. Full stop. So 5 points cheaper, one
loses
fate
the
left,
Yep.
and he couldn't auto hit people.
Yes. And as an aside, he doesn't have the option to have armour.
Yes.
On a horse, but I guess that's a bit
They were
harsh.
armour and horse
I don't
rabbits
think you.
for 2
I
towers.
don't know if you actually asked war gear options.
No, it was it was
I think it
different
was
to
the
profile.
profile specifically, the stats specifically. So, this is how many people got it right. Nobody
Hooray! We got one!
Nobody
No
got
one
it
got
right.
it. Does that mean I win the chance to buy myself a friend?
Yeah, I think so. You'll have to put a photo on
I'll
Facebook.
gorge myself. Yeah, alright, yeah. I'll do that. Get
Quite
it
a lot
done.
of you were very close. A lot of you got the lack of auto hit.
Mhm.
Quite a few of you said lack of one either might or fate. So some of you got confused and said might, but quite a lot of you said fate. And then some of you got the 85 points. So between you, you all got the answer. And there were, I think the closest two were Dave Egan and Ian Marley got all the rules correct, but not the points value.
Alright, me guys. No
I
Freddos for
think
you.
they went for like 90.
I'm gonna eat my Fredo.
But there were some good answers as well. Rasco Nesco said he has a special rule. He did have a special rule. Where he could declare at the start of the shoot phase if in base contact with the top of stairs that he slid down them and is able to fire 3 times while doing so, all of which auto hit.
And he should be able to strike a combat at the bottom.
Yeah.
We did that when we played our Mega Helm's Deep game. He had a special rule where he could use a point of might to go from the top of the staircase to the bottom, and I think it was something like
Kill
he'd
everything on the
fire 4 shots and charge a model that was within 3 inches of the bottom of the stairs or something
Nice.
like that. That he could do it, and he did it. It was cool. I think he probably like missed and got killed by the arrow.
Wobchicker asked, was he roughly equivalent to the points of Fall Along the Fat, mounted on Gambling, mounted on Boromir, both with banners, mounted on Whitehead, mounted on the Land Rover? 1,337 points.
Yeah.
And Matthew Ridgely also went down that road and said, was he actually Fall Along the Fat on horse in disguise in the old rules?
Falling the Fat on Horse is
Yeah.
becoming a very popular
I know,
recurring character
I
on
know.
the Palantir.
No auto hit, but he gets an extra large elven cloak for free. So yeah, that was it. So no one got your question.
Boom!
Boom. Well done. So no one's going to get the double Freddo, and who was it? J22, you can't get the double Freddo.
Actually,
The
I hope
triple
not.
double Freddo.
You got to look after your waistline.
Yeah.
Not worth the risk.
My question was, I named...
Sorry.
Yes.
On Frodo. Today in a lecture to 18-year-old normal students, I started using Freddos as a unit of measurement.
Yeah.
And Vala was in there, and she was doing this, and I was like, God, these people don't get this, do they?
No.
You know, it was this genuine kind of. It was like you'd have a quid. I was like, well, that's like 5 Freddos. No, you know, that's the first time they've ever heard like money valued in number of Freddos. I was sitting there going, that's a strange thing to say. I was like, what? Don't you measure everything in Freddos?
Oh, man. But yeah, last week, Andreas, Norwegian Viking, got the
He
chance to get himself a Freddo.
And he's got Freddos.
And he's got
We
Freddos.
saw a picture of it.
Contrary to popular
I think
belief,
he's
or
ordered
our
a box,
belief.
hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's ordered a box so that when he wins the quiz, he can get Freddo. That's Fredication.
There's some more Fredication. Michael Bojan, who won one last week, said he asked his British friend to send me a Freddo over because they don't have them in Poland, so he's having one shipped over to him.
Get a few sent, mate. Get
Yeah.
a pack.
Get a box.
Get Billy, he'll send you a box.
Yeah, Billy, we've not had it for ages. What are you doing, man?
Yeah,
When we paid for that
I think
subscription, I thought it'd be boxes of Freddos every
I think he's
month.
quite busy at the moment. And massive congratulations on
Yes.
your news, by the way, of today, which is Tuesday. It's really very exciting. So well done, you, and I hope all is well with the baba.
Mm-hmm. And the baby isn't scared by your new boldness.
Slap it.
Yeah.
It's a giant egg. It's a giant egg.
His head's a nice shape.
All right.
Alright. My question, I named a few Lord of the Rings places that are mountains.
You did.
So I think I said Misty and Doom and Angmar. and asked where they were.
Where in the world?
Yeah, well, where they are. In...
Or out of this world.
Out of this world. So sadly, we don't get double Freddo between us because people got this right. The answer is Titan, which is one of Saturn's moons.
Saturn's moon. So why then, as a man of science, all these Lord of the Rings placed on one of Saturn's moons?
On one of them?
Yeah.
I guess because some guy discovered them all and was a fan of Tolkien and was like...
They're all known by the same person?
I presume so.
Or
the trend is, once you've started, because there's other things, there's hills and valley, I can't remember what other stuff on Titan that is that are named after Tolkien.
So like Titan's the kind of...
And it's not just Lord of the Rings, it's Silmarillion and things like that. So I imagine, it's the Lord of the Rings moon.
It's interesting.
Yes. So whether it's one person or whether it's people following the lead after the first one. But there you go. So getting that correct was Resco Nesco, Matthew Zavitt, David Whittaker, Michael Bojan, get another Freddo sent over, Wobchicker, Quinn the James Slayer Duggan, and Colin Higgins.
Quite a lot.
Well done, guys.
I was surprised with that. I'm going to put my hands up and say I didn't know that.
Did you think it was difficult?
I thought it was difficult, yeah.
Yeah, Ian Marley also thought it was rock hard.
It's good, it's strong.
Good. It's good.
But yeah, I didn't know that, so well done.
Cool. Yeah. Well done. So that was last week's trivia.
Trivia section.
This week's trivia, Damian.
This week's trivia, I do have a question indeed. In the Hobbit rulebook, there is a section called Advanced Rules, which contains some extra rules that you shouldn't use in tournaments, but that potentially... Yes, Burn, ladies and gentlemen. They can't see your way.
Can't see the way.
Hello, little one. You alright?
Yes.
You've got to say something entertaining if you're going to be on the Palantir.
I'm going to go and get my pyjamas now.
Brilliant. I love that. Anything about chicken stock?
No chicken stock. No chicken stock tonight.
Love you.
Thank
Yeah, there's a section of advanced rules that rules that you wouldn't normally use in your average game or at tournaments,
Yes.
but that potentially enhance the game. My question is, how many advanced rules are there? Now, I'm going to give you a partial clue, because I think it will matter, that some of those rules might be split into have smaller sub-rules inside them.
And you're after the main rules.
Yeah, there are clearly a number of large font type, the largest font type in the section, a number of rules, and how many are there? And obviously, as always on the quiz section, you cannot go and check.
No, don't cheat.
No, don't cheat. Do you think they'd cheat? No, they wouldn't cheat.
Cool.
Thanks.
Good question. I have no idea what the answer is.
You're in up.
No. I'd have to...
Revenge for Titan.
I'd have to sit and think about it.
Maybe you should answer next week. And if you get it right, I'll tell you, you can eat a Freddo live.
My question is, along the same lines as Damian's last week, is difference between stats. But I'm going to go for, what is the difference, all of the differences, between a horse profile and a pony profile? How is a horse better or worse for different stats than a pony?
In the Hobbit.
Yeah, and you have to get all of them in this rulebook.
Hobbit rule. Trivia section.
Yeah.
Good trivia.
There you go.
Well done, sir.
Cool. So
That's some good socks you've got today.
Yeah. It was because we had the
Can
Titan.
we show you them?
Because we had the Titan.
Like that? Are they like Christmas socks or?
They're like the astronauts. They're going
Oh,
to
that's an astronaut.
Yeah,
I
they're
thought that
going
was
to
a
Titan.
snowy scene.
No, they're going to Titan.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I can't get my leg up.
See it done. They're waiting for it now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's an astronaut. That's good. It's strong. It's like a rap sock.
Good.
Okay, that's a Jurassic Park reference for
Maybe.
Oh, I don't know if it does. Jurassic Park. There's a dinosaur pajama from Elropa. Interference. Brainwashing.
Cool. There are also some comments on last week's episode, obviously. A couple on the sketch. Some people may have seen something in a reflection on that thing.
Oh yeah.
If that is what stood between you and the believability of the first part of the show, then, well,
yeah, indeed. We're sorry.
yeah,
When we're doing in the future, when we're doing sketches about people disappearing by putting the ring on, we'll try and make them more believable.
yeah,
But, yeah, I know. Our production values
yeah,
faltered,
something.
and we. You know what? As well, you'll probably hate us even more for this, but we knew.
Yeah.
When we were editing it, we saw it, and we thought it was all right. But it's not all right. It wasn't okay. And next time we'll make sure Tom sits down.
Gets his fat head out.
You notice I was. There's no reflection of me when Tom was doing his bit. I was
No.
sitting down.
You were.
But yeah.
Lazy. That's what I call it.
So yes, we're sorry if that damaged your enjoyment of the sketch. I hope nothing like that happened today. I haven't checked the bifold windows for reflections of anyone. So. What if he's there? Yeah. Could be a nightmare. Could be happening again.
Cool. We also had comments on what your new YouTube name should be.
Oh well.
New YouTube name should
I don't
be.
need a new.
Dave
YouTube.
Egan has gone. He's going for something akin to Quinn the James Slayer Duggan, and he's gone for Damian the Dragon Slayer O'Byrne.
Yeah. Come on. Why, Tom? Why would he think
I
that?
don't know.
Oh,
Why don't you tell the viewers, Damian?
kill smell.
You
Thanks,
had
Dave, for the game.
a round of applause from 71 people.
The mini tournament review I played.
Even
there.
Dave Egan started clapping.
He was
at
really
you.
excited because he had a Dave brought Smaug to read Destination
Yes.
Stockport.
If you hadn't heard already on James's
Yeah.
videos.
And I played him in the 5th game, and he had the record of, I think the most number of wounds anyone had ever done on him was 13.
Mhm.
So he's since he's been playing with
Yeah.
him, not just that event. And so he was saying at the start he wanted someone to kill him
Yeah.
at some point for the lols. So I helped.
Um,
Snake. Thank you, Dave. It was an awesome game. I really enjoyed
And
it.
Acton says he said the answer to your trivia this week was Smaug I lose.
Smaug I lose. Yeah, because someone said on the post I put up on Facebook at the start of the game, they said you're in a lose-lose situation because you either win and you either lose the game or you win and you disprove your Smaug I win theory.
So yeah, very good.
Good fun to play against though. Nice to try it out.
Well, it is good when you kill him.
Yeah.
Cool. We're on the 3rd sheet out of 3. It's going well. Yeah, and some people gave you congratulations, which is great.
Oh, that's Smaug.
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
Resco and some others. Yeah, and another comment about the weekend. I was chatting with Acton about the lack of my hobby vlogs. He was like, "When is your hobby vlog going to come up?" And I was just like, "Oh well, I just act like an idiot because then I don't have to do it."
Acts like an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, "Yeah, play the fool and no one will ask you to do anything. No one would ever ask Pippin to take the ring to Mordor." He said, "I think Mr. Ian Marley would definitely get Pippin to take the ring to Mordor." Did you hear about what David Reed did in their game?
The combat mimicry.
David Reed, what an outstanding bloke he is. Charged in the Knight of Umbar Fell Beast into Pippin and did combat mimicry to steal all of Pippin's stats and proceeded to lose the combat.
It's good, mate. It was very sporting. I think he immediately then got his most sporting vote for
Yeah.
it. But did you then hear he didn't make it into the top 8
Because of that.
Because he didn't get an MVP. He was like, "Oh, this is fun." At the end of the day, he was furious.
Just shows you should always be
Horrible.
The moral of the story is don't do that.
But no, it was awesome to see
yeah.
because Ian had brought an awesome army along, and very, very much deservedly
Yes.
won the best painted and best themed.
And most sporting.
Yeah.
And Glamdring in the raffle.
Yeah. Creating
It's
a
definitely
monster
your
of an
weekend,
Aragorn.
yeah.
You know, as Aragorn could do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he lost every game with it.
Of course.
Aragorn was able to wound on a 3+,
Everything.
He had a free heroic march to go, which kept his free might point for whatever else, and
Blinding Light.
Blinding Light.
That was because
he had like the file of
Ian won
Galadriel,
the 3 in-game bonuses
Yes.
for day 2.
which didn't help
Best
him one
Aragorn
bit.
ever.
Yeah. One other thing about the weekend, Billy gave the entire lyrics to Grease Lightning in his comment, And he even, I enjoyed the bit where he put like instrumental part square brackets going through the lyrics.
Why?
After, I guess it's after James's second hobby vlog.
I've seen a rather magnificent performance of the cha-cha slide from you.
Oh, is it? Yeah, James made me do it.
You go.
Yeah.
And then slide to the left. And reverse. Yeah, you had some moves on your Saturday night, man.
They were awful.
All bad moves.
All bad moves. Everyone. I enjoyed myself though, I think.
It was a good night.
Yeah.
Fun.
So yeah,
My
cheers for all
serious
this.
moment made it into the hobby vlog, which I assumed James was just going to drop.
Serious moment.
I nicked the camera and ran to the toilet and said, "Stop having fun. Like, it's not all fun and games." And just like completely half cut. Just start talking like, say, you got to think about the bigger things in life, and it's in there. It's all in there. Just be like.
Talking of you being funny.
I wouldn't say funny.
Yeah. David Whittaker said you were on fire last week.
Was it?
Well, maybe you just thought smart, but he said the woes joke, the Morecambe and Wise joke. He was very
I
impressed.
remember either of those.
You
Was it
made-
Morecambe and Woes? Was that the?
No, it wasn't. They were two separate jokes.
But I remember either of those jokes.
No, I don't remember the jokes, but apparently they were very funny.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
And did you say something about knocking your head on your tea, or did you knock your head on your tea?
Maybe.
I think you did. But Matthew Ridgely has said that you're one of only 1 in 25 million people to have suffered tea, coffee, and related injuries. There you go.
I'm one of.
The stats on being injured by, I don't know, banging into a teacup.
1 in 25
Something
million.
like that.
Oh, right. Well,
So well done.
good to be unique.
Yep. Yeah, I guess you are funny though.
Thanks.
Yeah, a bit like gone
There's
off
no
milk.
way this has got. Yeah, it's got. Yeah. I
Like
knew-
gone off milk.
Yeah, that was. There's never going to be a compliment, is it? There's always going to be something coming.
Yeah.
What have you got written down there on your stupid little piece of paper? Remember the thing. I guess you are funny. It's not be
rare.
hilarious.
That was impromptu.
I'll prompt you.
Impromptu. Prompt me for Larry. Larry, good prompt.
Totally forgot
Segue.
Sourcebook.
Sourcebook. So Larry said that he's. So we were talking about GW, whether they were going to release anything else. And Larry's very keen for them to not release anything for a bit, but then to come back and release something.
I know. Yeah. This is good.
Yeah, it is good. So I thought I'd include it for Larry because he hasn't got his comment in on time, but we need to include him.
Yeah.
So, Larry said that he wants them to release a source book after a while when everyone thinks it's dead. He wants the unexpected journey.
Like the Fellowship of
Book
the
like
Ring.
the Fellowship of the Ring
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the Two Towers and the Return of the King. The reason for this is because it's been so long, they could call the book the Unexpected Journey Book.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good, Larry. We like that. The unexpected journey, but
Yeah.
it's good. It is funny.
This,
That was in the car on the way up.
yeah,
Good fun.
indeed.
Well done to Larry and Dave Fredericks for being some awesome travelling companions.
Yes, indeed.
Very much appreciated.
Yes, Boromir and gambling, we talked about them before, but we've got more comments on those kind of things. Joseph Holly said, loving the custom profiles, but disappointed that I haven't seen any of them endorsed into the GBHL FAQ.
Yeah, I'll put them all in.
Very, very disappointed.
Like Guy here in Land Rover.
Yeah, fully expect to see gambling on Boromir, Tauriel on Smaug, and Gwaihir on Land Rover at my next tournament.
Pretty good.
Dave, get sculpting. Imagine Gwaihir on a Land Rover rocking up. Yes, and then David Whittaker, I think it was, said he doesn't think any profile will ever beat the Boromir on gambling. Although he does have a few ideas for Alfred on Bomber. Partly for the cheese factor and partly because it was his favourite scene from the book and he cannot believe they cut it from the film.
That's just a Mike Wills sort of machine, isn't it?
And in Catch the Harrison, if it's a Mike Will machine,
Hunt the Harrison.
I can't. It's technology a machine.
Yeah,
I can't
absolutely.
deal with
Yeah,
that.
the Luddite special rules come into play. That's my Hunt the Harrison's custom scenario if anyone wants to hear about it.
A couple more things before we get on to something serious. I asked the actor.
That'd be a first, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I asked the acronym, what was the acronym on my t-shirt from a couple of weeks ago,
Oh yeah.
which was OUUSFC.
Yeah.
And you had some
I assumed
guesses.
it was football club, and
But
it
it's
wasn't.
not.
It's OU. It's got to be Oxford University.
It is. Ed Ball went for one sensible one, which was Oxford University Union of Students Fencing Club, which is not, but that was a sensible suggestion. He also went for ostensibly, unintentionally, ubiquitously, salacious, figuratively, and entirely charming. The and entirely in brackets.
Did he tell you at the tournament that he googled it, and one thing it comes up with is something like the what are the letters?
OUUSFC.
It was the Oxford University Underwater Shark Fighting Club.
That's what it is.
Is that what
That's
it
the
is?
answer.
Oh, is that the answer?
That's
Oh,
the
right.
answer.
He googled that.
Yeah.
And it came.
That is the answer. It's the Oxford University Underwater Shark Fighting
God,
Club.
you Oxford guys, you like a joke, don't you? You're not all serious. I don't know you.
There's a t-shirt printing company that in Freshers Week, you have all these stalls and stuff. You guys can go around. Well, they give out free t-shirts, and the ones that they give out to promote themselves, so people are like, oh, that's cool, I'll get a t-shirt from you, is the Oxford University Underwater Shark Fighting Club.
But it doesn't say it on. It's like it just says the acronym.
It has a shark.
Oh,
There's
does
a
it?
shark
Oh, okay.
thing on, yeah. And there's a male shirt, a male version of the shirt with blue, and then there's a white female
version.
female
That's the
cut.
one you had.
Yeah. Male cut version as well. So yeah, there you go.
I like that.
But yeah, that was good, Ed.
Yeah.
And then on the subject of you looking like a fat Andy Murray, just to bring you back down to it. Ross Diggle says if it makes you feel any better, he gets called Peter Kay at times as well, which is infuriating on his behalf because Peter Kay's from Bolton and he's from Bury.
Yeah.
And people from the north would probably understand.
That's why the
that.
fat Andy Murray thing bothers me, because he's Scottish and I'm British. He's Scottish and I'm British? God. He's Scottish and I'm English.
That could have been true if votes
The
had gone the other way.
Scots are typing bigger as I speak. There's a double Palantir bigger.
You going to Stirling?
I'm not.
Wouldn't go near that place, would you?
I went last year. I'm not starting. I'm going to the tennis.
Okay. Yes. So anyway, yes, we enjoyed meeting the Scots again.
We did.
That's not fun.
Although once again, as constantly happens, there was a
Yeah.
giant Scottish roadblock.
Yeah.
on my ways to tournament glory.
Yeah.
That keeps happening. It's like, no, please, not a Scot.
They will beat you.
Not a smiling, cheery Scot that will crush me into the ground. They will beat you, they will lie to you, they will cheat you.
Well, they'll just beat you.
Yeah, just being they didn't cheat or lie.
No.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Some news.
News.
We're a couple of weeks out from the extended edition. That's pretty
Yeah.
exciting. Which
Yes.
will probably mean we think there'll be a Palantir special.
Yeah, maybe
Like
with a
extended
special
edition.
guest.
Yeah, possibly with a returning special guest. See if you can guess who that is. It is guessable if
Yes.
if you've been watching the Palantir for a
Tifa.
while. Yeah, it'll be a human. Spoilers. So we'll probably be doing that. I think I have to coordinate our Palantir night. And also, anyone in America right now can be watching them.
Right now.
Was there? I don't know if they're doing one a week in the build-up or what, but the cinemas are showing the extended versions, and that's the first place anywhere on Earth you can see the extended Battle of 500.
They've probably got it on Titan already. They can probably see it there.
Yeah.
Stream it.
Good knowledge of somewhere that isn't on Earth.
Yeah.
And
Topical.
so yeah, if you're in America, go and see that because I'm well jealous. I'd go and see the extended versions in the cinema, so we're on the area.
Well, you're not that committed. You didn't buy a ticket to fly
Yeah,
there.
could have gone. Yeah, and sort it out. I actually thought for a while when they were talking about it, I was
we'd be
hoping
in
it would be
Nova.
over for Nova,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
alas no. Alas no.
Not quite.
But yeah,
Gone off milk.
but that's the full about it for news.
Yes,
There's not
tournaments.
Yeah.
Tournaments. So we've just had the redestination of Stockport. The next one
Well done, James.
is
It's an awesome job, mate. We will be remodelling our polo shirts.
76 people.
76 people. It's very good.
Outstanding.
It was outstanding.
Beat that Germany.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will, but we can egg them on.
Fingers crossed someone beats it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was awesome. It was a really, really good weekend. And well done, James.
Yes.
It was
awesome.
very, very good. And we think at some point there'll be a tournament review.
Yeah.
Planning on doing the video, but they're very hard to fit into the evening.
Yes. Next tournament is East Grinstead,
Woo woo!
which you said there was a ticket available for at the time of recording last week.
Yeah.
Last time. I don't know if that's gone. I presume it has.
I presume it's gone. I think Tanya's coming. I don't think Tanya's on the list.
Okay, so maybe she got the extra
So,
ticket.
she was definitely messaging about going to it.
Okay.
Which is the one that I think since pre-Longbottom I was saying was the one I was most looking forward to. And I am very excited about
It's
it.
going to be a fluffy tournament.
It is going to be really good fun. So if you're going to that, play nice, bring something
Yeah.
fluffy. It's 80 points, it won't help you in the league.
No, it won't.
It does, yeah, well, winning the league anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good fun.
That will be fun. Next one after that is the Siege event.
Yeah,
In
and it's not a
Cardiff.
Siege event,
Oh god, I always say this.
it's the Cardiff one. It's the Strider Cup.
Cup.
Yeah. But Alistair King's event in Cardiff.
Yes.
The team event, which is going to be really good fun. So get yourself signed up for that because Alistair's a relatively new start-up. He did the Siege tournament back in.
But Firestorm Games is apparently, I think it's akin to Sterling for how
Yeah.
cool it is. As in, it's better than even the Northwest Gaming Centre, as in it's clean.
Anyone else get dusty shoes?
Yeah, I know.
Northwest Game Centre, whenever I come back, it always amazes me why are my shoes grey? It's like what is that from? You don't. It's not like you're walking through dust. I never see it anywhere.
You're evolving from Damian the Grey, Brown to Damian the Grey.
But every time I come back, my shoes are grey. What is that? Anyone else? Has anyone else come back from Stockport with grey shoes? But yeah, so please get along and support that event. We really hope it.
I think
lots of people can make it.
that Mid Sussex Wargamers may do a video
Cool.
to promote that, so watch that if that happens. And then the next one after that is
Stirling, which is a very, very long way north. It's up in Scotland, but if there is
Land of
any
Bigots.
chance of going to it, go.
Yes.
I went last year and it was awesome. The venue's great. It's run by the nicest group of Scots in the Great British Hobbit League, and it's just lovely. It's a really great weekend, and it's different, and it's a two-army event, so it's a good and evil force, and it's well worth making the trek. And obviously they get relatively smaller numbers because of the distance, so it's really important that you go along and support that one.
Yes.
So please sign up for it. And those are the next three?
There's the next one, yeah. There's not many left.
Well, there's only 4 left. Till the next one.
Yeah. Until next season. Cool. So that is it for the news. And topic.
We're going to talk about something that Matthew Ridgely
Mhm.
asked us. Too late to be in the last Palantir. We'd done the comment
Yes.
review, I think, by the time he posted it, because we recorded on Monday last week.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really interesting topic, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, that one.
Mine.
Nah, keep it. And that is about, it's kind of hard to explain in a way, but it's so stupid, but it's about sticking to the rule book.
Right.
He said,
Why is he spilt super glue? Oh, no.
He said that how closely, I think he said over here, is it, where is Matthew Ridgely?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Is he one SBGer in New Zealand? One with the magazine?
Yes,
Ah, right. Thank you for that. There's one copy of SBG in Middle Earth.
there is.
But
He has the only copy of SPG in Middle Earth.
indeed, there's only one. There's only 6 copies of issue 1 left, by the way, at the moment. Someone ordered one today, didn't
6.
they? See, it's going. So yeah, if you're interested in a copy of issue 1 of SBG, we only have 6 in.
6.
Yeah.
It's good work.
Well,
Oh, and we were.
you just young six.
Because we were also going to nab one of those sets as well, so maybe it's 4.
What do you mean we were going to?
We were gonna.
Me and you?
One, yes.
Oh, I've got mine out of that. So yeah, if you want another one. 5!
5.
They're going as we
5.
speak. Yeah, so if you do want an issue 1, we've still got a kind of pile of issue 2s.
Yes.
But if you want an issue 1, get in touch with us quick, please. He was asking over here how much people stick to the rule book,
Yep.
the specific wording about certain things, and there's a few examples of this that he brought up, and there's a couple of others that we could talk about.
Okay.
So he specifically mentioned heroic moves,
Okay.
and if we have a little looky,
Are you going to do some bedtime back rep reading?
The rulebook says.
Just
Just
top
been
quality
past this, but
content.
my hello. Can I use my heroic move? Heroic actions.
Heroic move.
If both players.
Actions part,
Yeah. If both players wish for heroes in their forces to attempt heroic actions in the same phase, they must take it in turns to nominate a hero. Starting with the player who does not have priority. Each specifies which heroic action is being attempted and by which hero, and then expends the might point from that hero's store. Okay, so that's the kind of thing. It doesn't seem like a big deal.
No.
But his point is clinging on to this phrase of starting with the player who does not have priority, and they take it in turns to nominate.
Yeah.
And there was also, the reason we brought this up, there was also a thread about this on the Facebook page this week, which had some things that personally I think are pretty clear cut, and I think you all agree with.
Okay.
But people were debating for the sake of arguing the toss.
Okay.
So yeah, do we
So
stick
that's
to
one
that?
thing.
Yeah.
Well, people don't generally stick to that.
In what sense?
As in, at the start of a heroic action phase, at the start of what do you call them?
A phase?
Yeah, a phase. Start of a phase.
We call them what you called them, but with less words.
Yes, that's fewer words. Yes.
Oh, I done
1-1. 1-1. I'm stuck now. Generally, someone will say any heroics, and then someone who wants to call a heroic will call one, and then the other person will be like, oh, well, I'll call one as well.
Yeah.
It's generally, I mean, in the heroic move, it's naturally going to be the person who doesn't have priority. But then you might get someone who doesn't have priority say heal heroic move and heal heroic move, because you need it in 2 places. And
which, according to this, and this came.
well,
I
they
don't know
say
if
you
this
have
is
to wait for somebody else to do one.
Yeah. So someone argued they have to take it in turns.
Nah.
So I call a heroic move,
And then if no,
and you go, well, I'm not doing it, and so he can't.
but that's his turn. He said no, and then it's your turn again, and then you go again, and then again.
They must take it in turns. Well, that's the other thing as well. Actually, it says, it says if both players wish, they must take it in turns to nominate it.
Yeah, I think it's if both players want to.
Yeah,
they should do it.
you're quite right. If both players wish for heroes to, they must take it in turn. But even then, this is what he was talking about in terms of sticking to the rulebook. So, if they want to, you according to the rulebook, you have to go. Legolas will call a heroic move. Then you go. Gothmog will call a heroic move, and then it comes back, and you kind of go. Dane will call a heroic move, and you have to alternate like that.
Yeah.
And they are actions in the same phase. So that would also go for channeling. So my shaman will heroic channel.
And this is where it gets a little bit less obvious in that in the move phase it's obvious who's going to want to call a heroic first. Whereas in the other phases, not necessarily. Now the channeling thing, I guess that's where it gets tricky because you've got that and the move in the same bit.
Why does it make it tricky?
As in, you'd have
if both players wish, they must take it in turns to nominate a hero and specify which heroic action is being attempted.
Yeah, because then you've got move and channeling in that same bracket.
Yeah.
So someone can go, I'll do a heroic move, and then the other person will go, I'll do a heroic channel, and then the other person goes, I'll do a heroic channel, and they'll go, I'll do a heroic move.
And what's the problem with that?
There's no problem, but what I mean is, who does a heroic channel first may have a impact on, as in the heroic move doesn't have any impact on what the other person will say really, as in the person without priority has to call first, and then you might retaliate to that.
Yeah.
That's simple. Whereas with the channeling, both of you, one or both of you may want to channel but may not want to if the other one heroic moves.
Mm-hmm.
If you see what I mean.
Yes, because if you think there's a risk your wizard will get charged,
that's what
you
I mean.
might not want to channel.
Yeah.
But you might not want to be calling a heroic move.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have priority
Mm-hmm.
and you want a heroic channel,
Mm-hmm.
you, according to the rulebook, have to declare that before your opponent declares the heroic move.
Mm.
So that would be and then you can't essentially have backseas because there's a big on the thread. There's a big thing about backseas, as always.
Yeah.
It's the same about the strikes we'll get onto, but that makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do we stick to it?
No.
No.
A few people I've played against. So one example is Tom from Ireland at the weekend was saying he'd say, "Oh well, you lost priority, so it's you first," or "I lost priority, it's me first." But that was for calling a heroic move, which didn't really matter. I guess it was for strikes and combats as well.
I mean,
He was
the strikes are the other
sticking
one, aren't you? The player, I'm trying to think if it could make a difference, but again, you
Yeah.
call a heroic strike.
But most people don't bother because they know what they want to. There's certain situations where it's beneficial to know who goes first and who doesn't. But the way that we get around that from a speed point of view is that most people is the whole backsy thing. You iterate to the point that you need to be at.
Yeah, I've just got into the habit of. It says starting with a player who does not have priority,
Yeah.
but I've got into the habit of at the start, if I've got priority at the start of every phase, and I don't think it's just me, loads of people
I
do
it.
Any heroics.
I do it as in it's to both of us. It's
Yeah.
just we need to stop now and think about heroics, otherwise we'll forget.
Yeah, so that you don't rush on, and you get to that point where, in the move phase, occasionally maybe a less experienced player will go, "I'm going to channel this." It's like, you can't now.
Yeah.
You can't do it now because it's not that. It's not necessarily that it's the middle of the phase. It's the fact that stuff has happened that
I
has
couldn't
changed
call a
your
heroic
decision.
move I couldn't call a heroic
Yeah.
move. Yeah.
So like, I'm actually,
it's fine if someone's channeling Fury and they're a million miles
Yeah,
away
exactly.
from you. It
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
make a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
if
I
they go,
completely
"Oh,
agree.
sorry, I forgot to channel it," well, fine. Do
But
it.
it's kind of like if their wizard's in charge range, and then they win the heroic move, roll off, and then they go, "I'm going to channel." I was like, no.
No.
But definitely in this, if I know, normally there's a lot of time with heroic moves there might be a bit of debate about which one you're going to do it with.
Yeah.
But normally I'm just straight away, shame or channel, heal heroic move.
Yeah.
I don't call one and wait for my
No,
opponent to call
I
another.
don't. Yeah.
And that's my general experience of that.
Or you would if you'd won priority and someone goes heal heroic, then you'll be like, okay, well, I'll retaliate here and maybe not there.
Yeah. The biggest thing I have is just deciding who does it. They're the longest decisions.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got two heroes and they're both in
Yeah.
range of each other, you go, I think it's Jay at the weekend where it was
Didn't help
like,
you, did it?
no, it didn't help me, but it was that kind of, he'll do it. No, no, oh, him, and then you measure
Yeah,
each
yeah.
one. No, because he needs to get there, so I need to do it with him, but he needs to get. Oh man. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, it's not to say maybe on a top table game if it was hanging in the balance that someone, like some player might try and rules blur it against you.
Right.
It's possible that they might then go to the rule book and go, no, you have to tell me
Yeah.
if you're doing it first. And at which point, you would have to back down and say, all right, we'll play it the way the rule book plays
Yeah,
it, which I believe is what happened to Matt. He said that his opponent kind of said, I want to do it by the rule book.
Now there's one important character where it does get important, and that's
Gothmog.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
In that, but I think for all of these that I don't think it's really intended. Well, I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I don't think it's intended to force one person to go first or second.
So the Gothmog example.
I think that example is for heroic moves. It's obvious that the person without priority would go first.
Yeah, I presume you mean the Gothmog example is that if Gothmog doesn't have priority, he has to call a right move and spend a might point.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the intention.
Yeah.
I think it's whoever needs to do it needs to do it. So you either both say nothing, or the person with Gothmog may really need to call a right move and may wait for the other person who's then being like, well, I don't really want to call one because he'll get one for free.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Maybe let's just say it's heroic combat.
So in that situation,
Gothmog wants to do a heroic combat, and there's another hero within 6 inches who goes first, and basically it's whoever really needs to, because the other thing is that nothing happens if no one says anything.
Yeah.
So whoever needs it will say it first.
Yeah.
Otherwise you move on.
But you're talking about situations where the opposing player is trying to trick Gothmog into spending a point of mind, essentially. So they're going, I want a heroic move, but I'm going to wait until Gothmog says
Yeah.
he's heroic moving, so he has to spend the might,
Yeah.
as opposed to me saying heroic
Yeah.
move and getting it for free.
Yeah.
And that, I completely agree with you, because that's clearly a case where this is the rule book, and he's got a special rule in a source book written before the rule book.
Yeah.
There's clearly, this is not, it's not like this passage is above
Mhm.
Gothmog's special
Yeah.
rule, you know. They're clearly one of those times where they kind of clash.
Yeah.
And Gothmog's special rule is, I think, is always meant to be a reactive thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yes. So I think the vast majority of people do not play that one by the rulebook.
No.
Next one,
Yeah.
the striking thing,
Okay.
the choice of which comes up. I got fed up with this when it was.
So
up.
what's the question? Sorry.
So this was again by the if there's anything in this wasn't from Matt. He didn't mention this one.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's
an extension
in the
of
same kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
category
Okay.
of who calls first, shielding or piercing striking.
We've
And
talked about this.
there was a long discussion about this again last week.
And I think, we've talked about it before. My opinion is just, if someone wants to shield, they'll say shield, and then the person is well within their right to say piercing strike after that. I don't think you have to wait either way. The key thing is that either nothing happens or both don't happen. It's, just. I think it's fine to have one backseat as well, because otherwise
Yeah,
it'd be a really boring game and it'd just have animosity where you're just like both waiting for each other to say something and no one says anything. And I don't think you should have an advantage or not by having or not having priority.
So this, for example, says before either player makes their dual roll, a model arm with mace, model hammer may opt to bash.
Yeah. So it doesn't
Before
say
either player
anything
makes
about
their
priority.
dual roll, a model armed with dagger or sword may opt to feint. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's nothing about
Nothing.
priority in there.
So it's basically, let's say you've got a guy who is outnumbered 2-1 and therefore wants to shield, but he's up against 2 with axes. You've got to make the call as the shielder, being like, I know if I say shield, he will piercing strike.
Yes.
It's an obvious thing he will do.
Yeah.
So I have to make the choice, do I not shield because he'll piercing strike, or do I want the 2 attack dice more?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the choice you have to make. It's not being like, oh well, you need to say whether you're going to piercing strike or not, and then I'll just select the best option for me after.
If you've got a model with a shield fighting model with an axe, that's one of the tactical
Yeah.
things that you know that they have.
They'll do. Yeah.
They have that option. But that, it did come up, and the counter, and it always comes up in there's been about 3 or 4 of these threads on the page over the years, and the thing that always comes up is, what if surely it goes, I'll shield, I'll piercing strike, then I won't shield, then I won't piercing strike, then I'll shield, and it goes on forever. And
No.
yes, of course it's
If
possible.
you're idiots.
But yeah, exactly. It's like, but it's one of those.
You just go
theory
around
things.
to nothing happens, and then that's it. Once you've gone to that, it's like, all right, we'll roll the dice now.
It's like so many of those things where it's like, yes, that is theoretically possible, and if that happens, you will have a very dull game.
Yeah.
Where you go,
And
all right,
no
do
friends
it then.
and
Do
no
it,
friends.
do it to each other, and sit there and kind of just keep doing it for the rest of the game. But I don't know, it's strange.
Yes.
Okay,
so that's that one.
and the other one, and I've been looking and I can't find exactly
You want about the
the
mic
bit
one?
that I need. But yes, this is about sticking to the rule. There's a bit at the end of the shooting phase about rolling multiple dice. So sticking to the rule book, because it's something. This is where somewhere I believe. Yeah, but that is specifically about shots. But I think it does deal with it.
Okay.
About rolling dice together.
Yeah.
That and it always comes up. There's one issue where it always comes up, and I think I've said before how I play it
Mhm.
and how I would want it to be played against me, but equally what I would give my opponent, which is according to the rules, I think, and it doesn't really deal with it here.
Yeah.
But Aragorn's got 3 attacks. He rolls if he wins the fight. He rolls 1 dice to wound.
Mm-hmm.
He decides whether or not he's going to use might on it. They then decide whether they're going to use fate on it. They then decide whether they're going to use might on their fate. Then after that wound's happened, Aragorn rolls another wound.
Yeah.
That's how it's intended to be done. I think the fate thing specifically says, for fate you have to decide to use might before rolling another fate point. And that's another case where people roll 3 fate
Yeah.
and look at them and go, I'll might that one.
Yeah.
which changes the value of fate, because you're then deciding. Whereas the first time, you might roll a
It's an
3,
agonising
and you might go, no, I'm not going to do it, or I will do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the other way around, isn't it? So if you roll them one at a time and you roll a 3, you might well want to burn the might if you need to save 2 wounds.
Yeah.
Whereas if you roll all 3 together and you get a 4, a 5 and a 3,
Yeah.
you've saved your 2 wounds, so you don't use the might
yeah.
for it.
No, I always roll fate separately for that.
Yeah, you should.
That's what I do.
But there's a thing in here, this is about shots, that says sometimes you'll have several models firing at the same target. These situations can be made quicker by taking all the shots together to do this. Count the number of fires, roll that many dice at once, work out which have struck the target, and then roll to wound. And that's interesting. It's the hits that you roll together.
Yeah.
To make things clearer, it helps to roll different coloured dice with different variables. The shoot models have different shoot values. All require a different score to win the foes. You can designate a particular colour to the dice. Blue dice need 3s more to hit, and so on. Taking shots together can really make your game flow more quickly and smoothly, and works very well if both players communicate clearly with each other as they play. So I still think the intention there, even in the way it's written, is the roll to wound is one at a time. But I thought there was a passage in it about combat as well, about speeding it up. But it says if the winner of multiple combat has more than one attack, he may choose to resolve each strike one at a time. But that's again in case you kill both.
Yeah.
Strike, roll to wound, comparing the strength against the defense. If the target is wounded, if the model has multiple attacks, he makes 1 strike for each attack on his profile when striking his victim. And it's just not. It's never there. But when it matters,
it's the things like the might bumping.
Yeah. So what?
And the fate.
What I've seen, and what this is the way I would want to do it, is I roll 3 dice to wound.
Yeah.
And I need 4s. And I get a 3, a 4 and a 4. I want to be able to see what's happened to the 2 4s fate-wise. So I've got 2 4s.
So what you're saying, you've got a 3, a 4 and a 4?
Yeah. I go, right, I've done 2 wounds, take your fate for those 2 wounds. If he fails both fate and goes down to 1 wound, no fate, I can then might the 3 into a 4.
But that could have been your first roll. And then they could have said, I don't even need to take fate at this point.
It could.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I don't like that way.
So you think...
I'd say you have to use your might before they use their fate, because if you imagine when you're rolling it one at a time, you got that 3 on the first roll, you'd have to call the might then.
But then but it works both ways, doesn't it? Because equally you say the 3's the last roll.
But you're the one who's chucked the 3 first.
Yeah, but
that's why I say you should have to.
I agree with that. But I would happily give it to my opponent as well. I think everyone does that to speed the game up.
I don't use the extra mic because I think that people would get funny about it.
But I've chatted to people when it comes up, and I've given it to people that way as well. That because I think that seems fairest to me, that
we can do it both
throughout the entire game. We're all doing it the same way. So as long as each person gives it to them, but then by the letter of the rule, you're meant to roll 1. Decide to use might, roll another one. Decide to you're not even meant to. You're talking about using might first. If you roll 2 dice and get a 4 and a 3, you're not. Then you need to do 2 wounds. You decide to use might. According to the rules, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't know what your other dice is before the.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you've decided to chuck them all at once, so you should take the penalty of.
No, but I mean that you just.
Yeah, I know. You still know you've got a 4
fate. Yeah. And so that's still, and everyone does at the very least that.
Yeah.
And whenever I've played it against anyone with fate, they normally, it's inevitably one of those things that if the first time it comes up in a game, whoever it favours is gonna kind of fall down on that side, which I think is human nature. But no one's ever really complained about it. They kind of go, well, as long as we play that for the whole game. But that's something where in the UK everyone moves away from the rule book.
But I think it'd be really boring if you did one roll. Like the game would take forever if you kept doing one.
It's also more fun. It's more fun rolling lots of dice.
Yeah.
But that is a change, and it's one of those things that surprises me in a way, given how competitive some of the tournaments are. That's a change,
because then you do end up rolling single dice when you need there's multiple defences. That it's when you're striking against similar defence models that.
I mean, this is mainly for heroes. It's mainly a hero fighting a hero.
Yeah, or a hero fighting multiple models with different defences.
Yeah. But yeah, if you particularly maybe it's one of the things that maybe when it matters, like a hero's fighting two guys for a heroic combat, he chucks his 3 dice and he gets a 4, 1, 3. He then gets to pick his might.
Yeah.
And this is what everyone would do. He spend a point of might, kill them both, and move on. What he should be doing is rolling dice, getting a 3, knowing he's got 2 attacks left, and thinking, do I use the might?
Yeah.
There, and that's how I think the rules are meant to be played. But equally, that's not how I think it should be played. I'm not saying anything like that.
I'd even prefer it. I don't know. It depends. It might. Because I was just because I used to play originally. I didn't do the separate strikes for different people. You just roll with the hero, see what they got, and be like, right, that 4 kills him, that 5 kills him, and do it like that. But
like that.
But both people did it.
Yeah,
so it doesn't make a difference.
Exactly. Yeah, completely.
But that speeds it up as well. You don't have to. I quite like that you have to organise a bit on which you're going to strike.
And you always roll the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You go, I'll go for the guy who needs a 4 instead of the guy who needs a 5, and you roll a 5. You go, that's a waste. That's a waste of a 5, and I've got a limited number.
Yeah.
But those.
There was something else. The shooting one is also interesting because you can do, again, if you have different defence ones or different in the ways, because then that's when it gets tricky.
It does say that.
Because sometimes you want to just be like, I think people don't want you to roll, let's say you've got 8 archers, you kind of go, okay, 2 will go, or 4 will go.
Yeah.
Because if you do all 8, then you know how many you're going to hit, and then you can say, oh, they're all going to go.
Yeah, I mean, in here it very much says, to make this clearer, it helps to roll different coloured dice with different variables. If the shooting models have different shoot values, have different obstructions in the way, or if the shots require a different roll to wound. But
Yeah.
I
I was going to say, but I had a point where, let's say you've got 2 guys in front and 2 guys behind, and you're saying, alright, I've got these 4 guys, they're going to shoot the 2 behind. So you roll 4 dice, all hit. You roll the in the ways, all of them hit the front rank. You roll to kill, and 3 die, and there's only 2 there. Like
you kill a guy at the back.
Yeah, you give it because it's like those 2 have died.
Assuming it has the same defence.
Yeah.
No, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
In
what
that
I'd
instance,
also do, if I
I
had 4 hits, I'd go, I'll roll 1. Oh, he's dead. I'll roll another one. Oh, so this is actually on him.
Yeah. Whenever I do that, if I've got 3 hits on the guys in the way, I'd roll 2 of them.
Yeah.
And kill them, and then shoot
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But I'm very, very lenient with that, with the shooting.
Yeah.
Because I always, again, to speed it up to do this, I'll say I've got 8 guys here, and when I say I'll do this, yeah, all right, thanks. When I say I'll do this, I also give it to my opponent.
Yeah.
But I would have 10 shots, roll to hit, see what I hit, and assuming they can all see, I'll go, alright, well, I'll hit him. I can't bear that. It always makes me cry when people do it, that people go, right, this guy will shoot at him. And I always say, look mate, take all 8 of them. All 8 of these can see all 8 of these.
The back line, but it's just different ones. It doesn't
so
matter
like
which one
chuck to
dies,
hit and then see what you want to kill.
Yeah.
And people always go, right, so he's gonna, when they then hit, right, I'll roll to wound him, then I'll roll to wound him. I was like, no, chuck 3 and then take off whichever ones you want.
What I generally do is I'll be like the 4 at this end are in red, the 4 at this end are in green. Chuck and then also chuck them on the different sides to be like, you're taking off the back rank on this side or this side, so it makes it a bit easier.
We've been called for dinner. Cool. So the other one I was going to say that I've done in the past is F, you're shooting, and you've got 10 guys, and you've got maybe 4 guys that you've got clear shots at, and then 4 guys that have got in the ways.
Yeah.
I will roll 10 to hit. I've done, and I kind of explained this to my opponent before, and I only do. I think, but roll 10 dice to hit. Say you hit with 7, and then you wound with 5. So you kill all the 4 guys who are exposed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
saying all 10 can see 4.
All 10 can see all All right, so I've got 10 archers.
Yeah.
He's got 8 guys.
Yeah.
And 4 of those guys are blocked by 4 other guys.
Yeah.
But all of the archers can see
The 4
all of his guys.
Yeah.
Right.
I know where you're going with this.
So
Yes.
you hit with 7.
Yes.
And then you kill 5.
Right.
And say the guys in front have got exactly the same defence, so no
Yeah.
difference. I would then remove those 4
And then the 5th one.
and then make an in the way roll.
For the 5th one.
Yeah, for the 5th one that wounded. And if it gets through, it kills that guy. If it doesn't get through that. But of course, that, if you're playing someone you don't know, that can seem like they go, well, what are you doing? Because you're doing it in the way after the wound roll. But it's purely to speed it up.
Yeah.
It's literally to speed it up. But of course, your opponent has to know what you're up to. You know, they have to get kind of what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah. Because otherwise you'd have to go, right, all of these are shooting. Well, if you were doing what they say in the rule book and you roll them all to hit, okay, you've rolled them all to hit.
But you'd only roll 4 to hit.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, let's just say you roll a late though. That's what most people would probably roll a late, and then they'd go, right, okay, 4 could kill, so 4.
Yeah.
Oh, I kill with 2, so then I'll try 2 more.
Yeah.
And then I've killed the other one, I'll try 1 more,
Yeah.
and then that last one will be in the way.
Yeah.
Do I kill?
I mean, it's purely for speed.
That takes a lot longer.
Yeah, exactly. But also, the other thing I have found myself doing more and more now, because you're always aiming for the squishy guys in the second rank.
Yeah.
So you roll everything to hit, and then I'll start doing them one at a time. Because if you say the traditional way I'd roll, particularly when it doesn't matter in the early stage of the game, you roll 10 to hit. You hit with 5.
Yeah.
You then roll in the ways. 3 hit guys in the front.
Yeah.
2 hit guys behind. So then your best case scenario is that you kill 2 of the guys behind.
Yeah.
Because there's a big battle line, so you can kill
But
3
you do
guys
the
in
whole
front.
Kill the guy, if you end up hitting the guy in front, kill him, and then it's right
And
free
then
shot.
you've got a free shot at the guy
Maybe.
behind,
Maybe.
like a clear shot.
But you may not.
Why?
Because of the whole.
Oh yeah, because if it makes no difference.
As in, it might not, because it depends which archer's shooting. So
Yeah,
then,
exactly.
So
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it makes
yeah,
a difference.
Yeah.
So
That's what I mean. They're in cases where it doesn't, or your opponent agrees. I've never had a problem with. Everyone's fine with that. So if you hit with 5 and you go in the way, alright, hits the guy in front. Alright, then I won't roll these in the ways. I'll roll to kill him. Okay, so I've killed him. So now I've got a clear shot of that guy.
But
Roll to
yeah,
him.
I think that could get a bit trickier, because if you've got 8 and he's got 8,
Yeah, then the guy on the
Then-
end would
yeah,
have
will
another
still
in the
have
way.
it in the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. But again, I mean situations where that isn't a
it's
factor.
going to be a problem.
But there, I genuinely put my hand on my heart and say I've never tried to game it. It's literally always
it's just
done
to
with
speed it up.
to speed it up, and I would have no problem with my opponent doing it back to me. I played a few really nice games recently where, actually against Our Wood at Stockport was one of them, where there were a bunch of loose trees on the table, and I had a row of 8 crossbows, and he had 2 warbands of about 6 Citadel Guard and 6 Citadel Guard. And in fact, the entire game, I had berserkers in front of my crossbows, and the Citadel Guard were shooting at my crossbows through the berserkers, and my crossbows were shooting at Citadel Guard through the Minas Tirith. And I don't think at any point did we get down and sort of do that.
Okay.
Because it was like every one of them can see one of them.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't care,
Doesn't
and it
matter.
speeds the game.
And the thing you can do
And you're
with
doing
that,
it backwards
yeah,
as
the
well.
thing you can do with that is you can shoot, and if you're doing it like that, what I generally say is, you just choose one and
Yeah,
take it off.
you give
As
your
in you
opponent,
give them
yeah.
the choice
Yeah,
to take
absolutely,
one away, rather than you be like, I want this specific
Yeah.
one.
Or you
That's the
do the
other
whole
way.
target priority thing.
Yeah.
Where you go,
But yeah,
they're
I'll
starting
do
with
him,
these
and then
two.
I'll move on to him,
Yeah,
then him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that, isn't really
Yeah.
the rules.
But I think I've never had a problem with anyone with those kind of things.
Okay, and finally you had one more possible thing where we don't
Yeah.
necessarily play by the rules.
So this is on the a couple of things. One is on the who rolls the roll-off dice.
The player with priority.
Yeah.
So in a tie for a heroic
Heroic move off.
heroic off or
Yeah.
a combat.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that realistically, if someone makes that roll and it's meant to be the roll, I think we've talked about this before in the etiquette one,
No.
that it then stands.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I think I've said before, if I chuck it and I realise that I'm not priority, I might stop it if I remember and be like, oh well, they probably want to roll themselves. But I think if I chucked it and I won or I didn't win and it was meant to be the roll, then that's it.
I think it's the sort of thing where it's not some. I think Matt was asking what it's like over there. That is one of the things that we stick to it generally in tournaments.
Yeah.
Like people will always roll it, but I don't. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Well, I never used to stick to it before I started tournaments. It always used to just be, you can roll it this time.
The idea that you
It
would.
didn't matter. It
The
really
idea
doesn't
that-
matter. It's flipping a coin.
Yeah, like if someone rolls the dice and it goes against you, and you go, well, actually, it was my priority.
Yeah.
Then I don't know. To me, that's a no. But then
Yeah.
equally, I can understand when in a tournament, it's a big roll that's got against you.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter who rolls the dice. It's a dice.
No, it doesn't. But it's a way out of something that's gone against you, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like
I'd say that's really low.
maybe. But as I said, like my experience of tournaments is just that everyone's aware of it, so you just kind of go. People physically say it's your priority, so you roll the dice.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know,
As
mate.
long as you know what a dice is being rolled for, then
Yeah,
that should stand.
but I think generally that is rolled by the player with priority. But then yeah. So yeah, there's another one for you. So there's a few kind of almost jumping off points. We've talked about 5. We have who rolls the dice for priority.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want going back and forth?
Yeah, that way it'd
Who
be smooth.
it moves? Who goes first? Person with
that's
priority.
for priority. The rolling to wound with a whole bunch of dice together.
Yeah. The who calls first on a shielding or piercing strike or fainting or anything like that.
And the other one,
Shooting.
shooting.
Multiple dice shooting.
Multiple dice shooting. Yeah, so those are 5 jumping off points. So maybe tell us what you think about them. If we're utterly crazy, if we're wrong, if we're
right and utterly crazy.
yeah, it could happen. And also if there's any other points that people have picked up on over tournaments where in the UK scene we don't stick to the rule book. The spinning one actually was one, wasn't it?
I was
But
spinning the models.
there used to be the rule in the old rule
Yeah.
book that you could spin your model at any point, and it was only recently that we actually looked through the book and it's like that
Have we
isn't in there.
FAQ'd that?
Yeah, it's now been FAQ that
That
you can't
spin your
because
models.
that
Unless
passage
it's your
isn't
chance
in,
to move your model.
Yeah, that passage is not in the Hobbit rulebook
So
anymore.
unless it's your move phase, you cannot spin your model.
Or your shoot phase.
Or
It
your
says
shoot- oh.
in your shoot phase you can turn it to face it, but that's clearly for cinematic.
Yeah, yeah.
The important thing is you can't spin your model in your opponent's
Yeah,
shoot phase.
when they're saying I'm going to hit him. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
alright,
that's-
I'll
but
move
it's-
my horse's arse into the way.
Yeah.
So that's good. But again, we as a community we have been playing that wrong for 2
Yeah.
years. Thankfully not many people do it.
No.
I heard the phrase, and obviously I won't mention any names,
Yeah.
but I heard the phrase at this tournament, oh, we got a spinner here. I definitely heard that. Was I going, and this happy voice then going, no, you can't, mate, it's in the FAQ. So, yeah. But, yeah, so let us know what you think, if there's any other jumping off points.
Now, are we going to end here?
I think so.
We need to be careful because last week we weren't very
Didn't
careful
get
at
it,
the end. And Rich Clemmer said that he woke his mum up laughing at us at the end of the
Did he?
last episode and she wasn't best pleased. So we'll try not to wake her up this time.
Okay, so do you think you're ready this time?
Not really, but let's go for it.
Okay, so as ever, don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
Pledge to Jamie on Patreon.
Support your Hobbit hobby.
And happy strategy battle gaming.
Goal.
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 Back of the net.
Back.